Welcome back to the Bookend. I'm Silas and I'm here with
Brian Trendler.
Yeah, and this is the after party after show for the Book of Boba Fett. And so this show is going to be full of spoilers, especially up through episode 2. So if you don't want any, save this, bookmark it, come back later and watch it. So this is your last chance for a spoiler-free experience. 3, 2, 1. What are we talking about today? We're talking about twin huts. We're talking about a black Wookiee. We're talking about Tusken Raiders as the Aboriginals of Tatooine, and a lot more. So stick around. The Bookend is back.
Stand by to receive our transmission. Stand by to receive our transmission. Stand by, stand by, stand by, stand by.
Join us in pressing.
The Book of Boba Fett, Brian, episode 2. The Tribes of Tatooine.
Yes.
Do you say it Tatooine?
I say Tatooine. Yes.
I say I've had a hard time with that name since I was a kid because I would read it so much. I pronounced it different in my head.
Yeah.
And then I was confused about when Princess Leia had said in the Death Star, the rebels are on Tatooine. And I was like, wait, what? Isn't that the place that they were at? No, that's at the T.
A lot of people heard Tatooine, so they put an N before that second T. And I think Lucas has been trying to fix it ever since, because he's like, would you say that line again, please, and enunciate correctly?
They're never even consistent about Princess Leia or Leia, right? Everyone says it different in the same movie.
Most people who saw it, speaking about it in this type of format are within my age demographic, and Princess Leia got them through puberty. So the whole Leia thing was easy to remember. I'm just going to say that right now. So,
it was the last one I heard when I just rewatched a bunch because of my daughter
or having
to see them, and they said Leia, and I'm like, Leia, what's where did this come from?
Anyone who says Leia is also a Star Trek fan, and they just get them mixed up, and they're just idiots.
Leia Roms, maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, a lot in this episode.
So much.
Too much?
A lot.
And a little break of format in the episodes. The first one was a constant back and forth flashback, and this one was present day.
Yeah.
And then 15 minutes of present day, then 30 minutes of all flashback, and never bringing it forward again.
Really, it was a journey back in time. It wasn't a flashback, because I know when my life is threatened and I know I need to sleep lightly, I go then sleep in a tube of water for a half hour.
Totally safe. Totally safe. Nobody could come in and kill you.
Couple fatty Gamorrean guards hanging out somewhere off screen.
You can totally trust. You can totally trust them.
Exactly.
Okay, so it opens up present where we left off last time, bringing up that the guard ends up being from the Order of the Night's Wind. Was it Wind?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I got.
Yes.
An assassin who had tried to kill.
Not very good ones, apparently. And I like how they alluded toward the fact that you're just paying for the name. I think
that was hilarious.
I think Fennec Shan, Ming-Na, she's so brilliant at delivering these just almost tone deaf one-liners.
Yeah.
And I love it. And all I'm going to say is there needs to be now 2 solid episodes about her. And after Boba found her dead, repaired her innards, I need more Ming, because she's going to rise into her character. Right now, I just see her as part of S.H.I.E.L.D. still, so I'm trying to make that separation. But I love her as an actress, and I really hope they give her more. because again, the whole parkour episode 1 parkour, frustrated me a little bit. But she was great in this one.
And I feel like, was she ever in a Trek property at all? I'm trying to remember what I knew her from before.
I know she did the Jean-Claude Van Damme movie Street Fighter, so I know she was in that.
I feel like I knew her before Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and I was like, why do I know her?
Yeah, she's been literally in every movie and TV show ever.
She's always
whether she's just holding the mic or she's actually in a scene.
So this assassin that they captured,
yep,
then tells them that the mayor is the one who. Okay, that was a little fun. They, I love the sending him into the Rancor pit.
Yeah,
like to scare him.
And then the mouse comes out.
And I was like, "There's a Rancor? Is there going to be a Rancor?" Like, oh no, just a good bluff. And,
I was literally about to pee my pants though. Had another Rancor.
A new Rancor? Okay.
Yeah, because in the Tales of the Cantina or Tales of Jabba's Palace book years back, if memory serves, either the Rancor didn't actually die, he just had a really bad banging headache.
Oh.
And I think I'm getting that right. Either way, one or two stories have dove into the Rancors, and I think they're cool, and I wanted to have one in it. So I was disappointed that the dude didn't get nommed, but that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. So after that thread, he said the mayor did it. So they went to go see the mayor,
who's a hammerhead.
Yeah. With the translation, like a real-time translation device, which was
super
I was
cool.
both annoyed with and thought was like the most badass thing. Like,
it felt like a tribute toward old Japanese samurai or old poorly done Westerns where there needed to be a translator, so where it was dubbed. But that species, I love the fact that this was a gnarly looking, hairy faced, been through a lot, hammerhead. I can't think of the name of the actual species, but I loved it.
Did you assume that the mayor was a human?
I actually assumed it was going to be a Twi'lek or a Twi'lek or.
Oh, really? Okay.
Or whatever they're called. I assumed it was going to be one of them. So I was pleasantly surprised with the big funky fingers, and I loved everything about that scene. Although it seemed pretty forced. It's like, okay, there's the face.
They bring in the mayor, and then the mayor's like, "No, I didn't do it." And they kill the assassin because he's operating out of Hutt territory.
Yeah,
which is a weird. Okay, something's going on.
Yeah.
And I wasn't I'm like, so do we trust? My history in science fiction with mayors says to never trust the mayor.
Never trust the mayor. They're all dirty.
I don't know if the mayor's telling the truth.
Yep.
Did you have one way or the other? Did you think it was?
I think he's going to become a scumbag. Okay. And he's probably responsible for a whole bunch of crap. I just think that it was an easy out to just give him this introduction scene. And I'm fine with that. I mean, obviously he's like, "Oh, you brought back my toy." And the other assassin popped him, who looked like he came out of a 1980s bad sci-fi film. The actual guard that shot the prisoner. So his hairdo has to be explored heavily with high resolution film, because that was hilarious.
I did note that the receptionist looked like Mario. I don't know why.
Oh,
like, what's with the Mario receptionist?
What's with the freaking mullet, man? I mean, Mos Espa business in front and Cantina party in the back. That was insane. Now, I think that that's probably some massive fan who won a contest. I think somewhere we're going to find that either someone's illegitimate son that he begged Lucas or Filoni or someone to get in.
We owed him something.
This guy, actually, he's probably the one that just had the arm that was in one of the Mando episodes. It was just the arm shown like behind a door, a blast door. And now this is Mullet Boy's chance to shine. So he actually gets an action figure that's a whole person versus just a limited edition arm that floated around in the internet for a while. So, God, I have no life. Anyway, yeah.
Okay, and then I wrote down, I mentioned they say something about the dino of Tatooine. Dino?
It's Dynam or Dyrum. It's basically a crime lord
Okay.
of a city, of a province, whatever.
They
So-
mentioned, I've been looking it up on like I'm very confused because I wrote down the person that they say Boba took in charge of from. When I
Yeah.
looked up his name, he showed up as like that was the name of Boba's like right hand person.
No, that was Bib Fortuna was the Twi'lek who was originally the little slimy guy standing next to C-3PO in Return of the Jedi. He was the one that met Luke at the front door, and when Jabba got choked out, Bib took the throne. So
but I thought he died. Like I was looking him up, and it said I thought he died on Return of the Jedi.
Nope.
No.
Nope. Bib survived. He was the one that, quite frankly, the beginning, the end of Mandalorian season 2, when Boba goes into Jabba's palace and there's the big fat Twi'lek, that's Bib Fortuna after eating 10 years worth of frogs, and then that's who got shot.
I need to rewatch.
Apparently,
yeah.
Rewatch season 2 of Mandalorian, or at least the last 3 episodes.
Yeah.
And then the very last episode actually is where we get to see Boba.
I didn't catch that it was that's who that was the same person.
Bib had been ordering one too many DoorDash takeouts.
Were they just trying to say this is how huts are created? Like just
it's a different species, but basically, yeah, they start out as slender worms and then they just bloat because all they do is sit on their thrones. So you're going in order. I'm impressed by this. Okay, because I have so many.
I mean, I have to keep track of this. All right, and then let's see. Then he goes back over to see Jessica Biel. No. Jessica Biel. Jennifer Biel.
Jennifer Beals.
Come
on, Flashdance. Go rewatch that.
Yeah, Jennifer. Well, there's a Jessica Biel and a Jennifer Biel. Okay, then she mentioned something. Okay, they say then we've discovered the twins are back, the twin huts.
Yes.
Which
they have made their premiere, baby. My dream of having
never seen before.
No, I want to say they were shown in the Rebels cartoon, which if memory serves you haven't seen, which makes you a criminal.
No, I've seen up to a point. I don't think I've seen them yet.
I believe they've been holograms in the Rebels cartoon. Plus, in the comics, they're a really vicious bunch of rulers.
Okay, in Phantom Menace, the huts that show are there for the pod racing. Is it just Jabba and like his girlfriend or something?
That's pressing my memory. It's Jabba. It's Jabba's mother, I believe, is seen.
Okay.
And I don't remember and affiliations of anyone else, but that was their first attempt to show different colors, striations, fat rolls,
Okay. I was like, I need to go back and look at that because I don't really watch that scene much or that movie. And then I was like, are these two from there? I didn't know. But okay, they said something about he thought they were busy with all the debauchery.
Yeah.
But Hut, what was it? Hutville? That wasn't Hutville. I was like, what's going on? Debauchery? What's going on? And so it sounds like there's something going on with the huts, though.
Huts are vicious toward each other. They're very territorial. All of their territory lines are apparently very volatile. And think about it. Hut dressed Leia up like a freaking whore. Yeah. And ropes her in and gives her a big lick. So I think they're kinky mofos.
Yeah.
And I don't think they care what species you are. So I think that falls under debauchery.
Yeah. Well, I was just
epic creepiness.
It seems like Boba thought they were busy. Like maybe that there was like an internal hut thing. Like why he thought they wouldn't want back.
Well, I think he's just stabbing at them. He's just prodding them to see if he can get them to incite a little riot within their own ranks. I mean, again, who knows? I just think most important, we found out that it takes 12 to 14 indentured servants to carry those fat asses around on their litter.
They're like babies too.
Yeah, because you saw how much it was bowing, and
Yeah.
I wanted Fennec to just like pop one of them in the shin and have those worms just drop like a sack of cement. That would have been the best scene ever, right?
Yeah.
But right now we're still being politically correct. It's all respect. And then Silas, we get to see the bounty hunter, Black Chrysanthemum.
Yeah.
Wookiee.
I found an article
Wookiee.
about him.
Yeah,
Was the first.
Black Chrysanthemum. He originally teamed up with Dr. Afra, the girl character from the comics in the Vader series. Wonderful characters, multi-leveled characters, and that Wookiee does not like Boba Fett, so they have a history. And the fact
He
that
calls him a gladiator.
Yeah, well, it's because he's trying to be insulting.
Well, but so they're apparently, let's see, I was looking this up.
Yeah.
He actually was a gladiator.
Oh, he was.
Yeah, at some point. So it refers he was briefly a gladiator, so they're like, so Boba knows him either personally or by reputation.
Yeah.
What's it, Chrysanthemum or Chrysanthemum?
I mean,
looks like Satan. Looks like Satan.
Leia, whatever.
And apparently worked for Vader too.
Yeah, he's just a big teddy bear though. He needs a hug. He really needs a hug. And I thought the fact that he had this primal like jaguar like growl was just awesome, because he's a gruff, pissy character. And I just can't wait to see if they.
He looks like the depictions that they have, like a lot of the cartoons or comics of Chewbacca would make him look this like a super tough warrior.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, that's not Chewbacca. What do you do? He looks like that tough one. And I was like, oh no, they're gonna take Wookiees to a badass level where this is where they do rip off people's arms for fun. And
yes, and I think they're honestly still trying to recover from some of the weirdness of the Solo movie. The Wookiees in Solo, the ones that had been down in the mines, mining for a long time, they looked like shaved like gorillas. Like it was very odd, all of their features when they were like receding. Like no one wants a Wookiee with a receding hairline. That was not.
You don't want a Wookiee cancer patient.
Exactly. So that was very strange. And
so then they look like Gollum.
Like the fact that they're going to leave that alone, like the spice mine type thing, and just have this totally. I mean, he stepped out of the comics to be on screen. They did such a great job, from the armor, from the spiked brass knuckles or like gauntlet, like with the spikies. I mean, I couldn't tell if it was knuckles or gauntlet. It was a fun, exciting scene. And just, he gave the rock stare as he walked away to Boba. And my son was like, maybe the Rock is playing him. So I mean, I loved it. It was so
That'd be fantastic.
I mean, I squealed like a 10-year-old boy a number of times during this, especially when the Hutts show up, and they're just gross, slimy, fat worms. And it's so funny how they can have all these manipulative fingers throughout and get everybody to do their bidding, right? Because wouldn't somebody just say, you're a slug? Like,
right. Well, it is that whole mafia thing of power. Like, whenever you see the mafia hitmen, they're people that, okay, I could wrestle you and beat you, right? But how everyone has so much fear about their power that they can be anything they want. Like, nobody cares.
It's kind of like a bloated Napoleon concept, because they're all fat, gross, gnarly creatures. But you can't cross them because they have everybody, like you said, under the fear mongering to do all their nefarious things for them, when all they do is sit there and toss back frogs. And what was that white little alien guinea pig thing that that the boy twin Hutt was about to eat? It like actually bit his finger, and that's why
I missed that.
Oh my gosh, it looked like a terrified little white guinea pig with like antenna. It was hilarious.
Oh, I missed that. Well, and then Fennec actually said, well, you can't kill a Hutt without permission.
You have to have permission. Yeah. See, so there's honor amongst thieves, right? You have to ask if you're going to off somebody from another clan.
I assume she has to ask like the Hutts. Like,
ask the Hutts.
Hey, I have an issue with one of your siblings. Can I kill him?
Exactly.
Like, It
So
seems like
how's
that's
that
an
for-
awkward conversation, right?
You forget to give one guy a birthday present, and you get popped. It's just insane, absolutely insane.
And then okay, what was the last black there? And then
It pretty much went into
it goes back to the flashback. Yeah.
yeah, because he had his threat.
Yeah. And they'll say that
And-
was a little weird, just dissolve into him. I was like, well, so when I didn't quite get, when is this? Is this him still being from the last episode being healed, or is that just later that night? He's like, does he just always go sleep in that to heal?
Yeah,
Like,
I think that the budget only has enough room for him looking like a dried up piece of rice paper. So every time he's in that bacta tank, he comes out a little bit more cured, a little bit more restored. His face, all of the original scars, most of those are gone now. I don't know if you noticed that. His neck and throat area aren't wrinkly. Again, that's the rice paper reference.
Right.
Except for the 10-hour flashbacks. So eventually his innards are going to be good enough. He won't have to do that. He'll actually be in like a heart-shaped pillow bed that says "You are here" with the mirrored ceiling. He won't have to go to bed in a tank.
Yeah. So now we're back. We're in the past, and apparently some time has passed because he can speak with them.
Yeah.
He can sign with them and communicate. They seem to have some trust of him, and why, like, he's just chilling. He's just decided he's going to chill with them.
It seems like he's fallen into the caste-based system, and he's learning the physical, fighting techniques. That the Tuscans in.
And it's funny because they're like beating them, and I'm kind of like, God, you really suck, don't you? Like, you're not a good fighter. Like,
same thing I said about Mandalorian last week, for example. He's a crappy fighter. He's not good at it. Yeah,
like this that's why you guys need this armor and rockets, because you really can't fight very well.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, he's learning the ways, he's training, he's respecting all of the basically traditions, and I think they're just showing basically glorified bonding that they're doing. And then heck breaks loose with the speeder
the train.
The train.
The speed train that comes through on no track.
Yep.
And just starts shooting at them. Assholes.
Random, or is it planned, right?
Yeah. And so then he decides to go, like, he sees those biker gang, the alien biker gang is going off. He's like, I'm gonna help you. And then, like, he runs off. We don't know yet why. Now, little fun fact, so then they go to this biker gang in a bar, and they pick on some just regular humans.
Yep. 6 bikers walk into a bar.
Yeah. Those 2 humans are supposed to be Cammy and Fixer, who are Luke's friends from the deleted scenes in A New Hope.
Oh, okay. I did not know that. I just recognized it looked like Han Solo's tunic. Like, it was one of his outfits almost.
So Cammy and Fixer, I think they must have the names in the credits or something, because someone spotted that.
I didn't catch that. Good.
Yeah. So I finally brought something.
He was a puss. He was a total Nancy.
Yeah. It's not fair. It's just not fair.
Seriously.
Boy, and you know what? These bar gangs they can't even be mildly
good,
like mean, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
They're always just like ridiculous. Like, okay, someone just come beat them up.
The only thing they had going for them is the clean transition from their guttural speak to, did you say something? Like, I mean, I have a decent like bass sound system, right? So to hear that suddenly come out of the same mouth that was just going whatever, I thought that was great, because then the tweaky dude was like, this isn't fair. I mean, he did not fare well against that guy. And yeah, none of them, they're all ex-stormtroopers apparently. None of them had any talent, any skill whatsoever to actually earn their brass knuckles and cool speeder bikes.
It's in numbers. It's just in numbers, right?
Exactly. But that lent itself to the great scene, of course, of him coming home to his little Tuscan village, trailing, which 3 bikes magically became like 6 at one point, and I don't know how that happened, because he was only dragging 2 with him. So I don't know how he suddenly got like 6 or 8 that they ended up attacking the train with.
Well, they went back and got more. I don't know.
Apparently, he just
He
keeps
left him
going
somewhere.
back. Yeah, but
Nobody
how
trusts
did you
him.
like the humor of showing the Tuscans originally, even how to go forward and then back and stuff?
Oh.
Like, how did you like how they played that?
I think they did a good job of not making them look like idiots, but
Yep.
of being unfamiliar with the tech.
Yeah.
And I would say almost like, oh, come on, they're old. They can figure out how to go forward. If I hadn't actually done almost the same thing 2 days ago in my car when I thought I was in reverse and I wasn't, and I went forward and almost hit a mailbox,
Oh
which
my
would have
God.
been a great introduction for this my
Exactly.
clients to this new house.
But just the fact that they didn't have the, like Jawa sound as he went backwards.
Yeah,
Like
right.
He screamed like a girl, right, or something.
Yeah.
I thought it was great, and it was just showing
the
how
leaping and I love this idea of they were practicing at slow speeds to jump, and then they built up to fast. He's like, okay, now we got to do it faster. Like, you actually showed us how you would train to almost rob a place, but to hijack.
I love the fact that they've taken these guys down from a lore perspective as always super badasses, right? No, they're literally a culture. They're literally a people, whether they're mixed race, because no one really knows what they look like underneath, and yes, they adopt people, etc., to people who are uncoordinated, make mistakes, fall on their butt a whole bunch of times, actually get ridden over by the one that was running behind them in the speeder bike. That was the speed bump scene after the one guy falls off. I mean, great subtle humor, but then you saw that they got good.
Yeah.
And I just loved it.
I felt bad for them. I don't know why. Like, they definitely humanized them for us. Like, when some of them didn't make it on the train, like they got shot or whatever, I'm like, oh, they're killing some.
Yeah. Sacrifice.
What I liked is, like, I actually didn't know if they were gonna stop the train or not.
Yeah.
Or with everyone intact, because that's kind of exciting, rather than they all jumped on and they all made it. So they're gonna do it. I didn't know how it was gonna turn out.
What did you think about the species that started popping their heads out?
They look fishy.
Yeah. So again, from the cartoons, that is the Pike Syndicate, who are very creepy and very aqua/salamander reptilian race, and really vicious. And why did they all look like Catholic priests with their outfits? I don't get that. So that's new to me. But the Pike Syndicate, they're badasses running the Sansana spice route. And the fact that this is who they've introduced now to the show, there's so many directions we can start introducing, including Darth Maul, who technically was hinted in the Solo film as running that syndicate now.
Oh,
so we could potentially see Darth Maul in this series.
Though I don't understand why there are trains running spice between places if it's from off-world. Couldn't they just flow to the other?
Well, I think from the crime syndicate perspective, you have hubs, and then you
logistics
throughout the hubs, right? And I think we'll probably end up seeing some main center, headquarters, whatever, of the syndicate very soon, because I think they're the ones that sent the assassins in the beginning, in the first episode. I don't think that the mayor has anything to do with the assassins. I think this is all built up because the Pike Syndicate is crazy. There's a huge opportunity there. And then one of the biggest things I wanted to talk about is the fact that, did you notice that the whole episode became a Frank Herbert Dune movie? Are you already getting my reference, or shall I go on?
Being that they're the Aboriginal people and the spice and
so the creepy lizard launches up Boba Fett's nose, which almost made me vomit.
Right.
He gets a huff of spice in his face, and he has an acid trip, does a wanderlust through the freaking desert,
Yeah.
Humps a tree, ends up having a major PTSD episode, comes back with a stick, and then he's seen as a leader. Not to mention when he's telling the Pike what to do, he's literally sitting on the crates as the whole train is being dismantled by the Tusken, and he's talking like he's a boss. He is the Paul Atreides of this episode, and elevating the Fremen to a "don't F with us" level, because he imposed a on the Syndicate an actual toll, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
He claimed what was that? The religious background. The ancestral claim. He did that on the route that the Pike is using.
Yeah.
He's literally like saying, "Let my Fremen go."
Yeah.
He might as well be Moses with two like laser tablets or something.
Well, and he promised them safe passage. Like,
but hey, or else. It's literally a Frank Herbert nod, the whole episode.
Well, it's also it's like training Boba how to be a crime boss.
Yeah, I think he's realizing through these flashbacks how he wants to do just that.
And it's not just a transformation of this is a transformation of Boba Fett from the bounty hunter to who he becomes.
Exactly.
Because he says in the episode, "I'm not a bounty hunter." Like, not what I hear.
And even the mayor, that was the exact scene. He's literally saying, "I'm not a bounty hunter. I'm the Dejum or whatever." And he's the Hammerhead's like, "It's not the same thing, idiot." So very interesting twist there.
Well, but then also in that scene with those fish faces, so he mentions they are the Aboriginal species of the planet when there was ocean.
Yes, Tatooine used to be covered in water.
And they're what's left. And they were there. It sounds like were they underwater? I don't know. But it sounds like someone messaged me about the show, and they were just like, "Holy crap, did Star Wars just call out racism and point out the of taking over Aboriginal lands?" And like there's a huge there's a huge underlying subtext of what's going on and in relation to our world, which I was like, I was just enjoying a bunch of spaceships.
Star Wars just got woke, and I don't think that's a bad thing in this sense, because again, they've taken the Tuskens and made them less brutal, more a victim.
We always thought of them as we just always said like, "Oh, they're the savages that try to eat up."
I wasn't a savage. Those little buggers are creepy as hell, slicing up eggs and eating the goop and stuff.
Which one?
The Jawas.
Oh, okay.
The Mando reference.
Or the Grogu's too.
True.
Either one.
Grogu's creepy.
Jawas are little buggers.
Seriously, rabid little monsters.
And so, the question I wrote was like, what made him? What do you think's making Boba do all this? I mean, to help the Tuskens and stuff. I mean,
I think go ahead.
I guess I'm trying to figure out like, well, what's his motivation here? Is it that he hasn't had family before and now he's feeling it? He's been solo, like solo. He's been solo.
I think they're not going too deep in the family side of things, other than the fact that, for example, in Empire Strikes Back, all of the bounty hunters up on the screen that we met for the first time, they weren't enemies. That was Boba's team. That was Boba's team of bounty hunters to go catch the prey.
You think so?
They weren't separate. They weren't competing.
Oh.
If you go back in all the comics and all the storylines, that was Boba's original crew. Now, Dengar was a little questionable, but point is that was his crew. He's used to having a team. He's used to having people that he can either be the boss of or have a team-like mentality. And quite frankly, he's still needing to survive and get his strength back and increase his skill set. He's always thinking X amount of paces ahead. And of course, at that point, he had no idea he was going to go become a crime lord, right?
Right.
Rules with respect. I think what they're driving at is seeing the culture from the Sand People, the Tuscans, and who knows what else we'll end up witnessing. The decisions he makes there, he sees how it's better to lead versus force.
Mm-hmm.
So then that becomes how he wants to be in the current time frame with the shiny outfit. I mean, frankly, for a guy that could be a victim to a headshot, he needs to stop taking off his damn helmet everywhere.
Yeah.
But point is that everything we're seeing now is what he's learned, and we'll see how much that bites him in the ass.
Right.
Because I think the Black Wookiee, whose name I've already forgotten again, Black Chrysanthemum or Chrysanthemum. It's Krystan, whatever. I think he'll come after him. And again, I think now is his proof we're going to see more bounty hunters, and hopefully from the proverbial cannon, right?
Yeah. You're blowing my mind. I had no idea that they were supposed to all be together, or that they were. Like, wow. Okay, I thought he was just the first one to catch them. Now I'm like, okay, I got to see how this is going to fit in.
Well, and with that being said, if you're as geeky as I am and you research it further, which I won't, because
that's not all canonical anymore, right? That's Legends.
I think that could be Legends. Yeah, I mean, you can easily find images of all of them lined up in a team-like atmosphere, saying that they were basically his crew in Empire Strikes Back with them lined up. I don't know for certain if at that point they were a crew, or if they were now competing against each other. But point is that, they used to be his boys. So it's crazy.
Well, I thought there's got to be a reason besides they keep showing his loss of his father, and like as a kid staring up at the ship leaving in the water world, right?
Yeah.
Like there's
it's just massive PTSD.
There's something funny too about his birth happening in a water planet, and now his rebirth is in a desert planet.
Yeah.
There's something.
Boy needs some moistener. He needs some Jergens.
I never thought I'd be a moisture farm. I was a sand farmer before.
I hate sand.
I hate the sand.
Yeah. So what do you think is next? What do you think is coming next? What are your predictions?
Man, I think there's going to be. I think we're going to we got another hut coming. I think there'll be another hut, not just. Okay, I'm calling that out. I think there's more to the Beale Twi'lek.
Yeah.
There's a lot more to her that we're not seeing.
It's not just a pretty ochre, yellow colored face.
I think I'm not sure how they're gonna do do you think this is gonna lead up to Mandalorian, or do you think it's gonna stop before Mandalorian's? Well, wait, no, it can't. I'm not sure how they're gonna.
This is after this is after the scenes we've seen in Mandalorian,
right? But they somehow have to connect the past up to when he got his armor back.
It's a super short past, though. It's just a season 2 midway through past, because when we first saw Boba Fett in Mandalorian, he was wearing the Tusken outfit that we saw at the end of this episode. He was wearing that exact outfit. So his recovering of the armor and now his current outfit is a mix between, it's like the mullet, right? Party in the back, business in the front. Now it's armor in the front and back, and he's still wearing kind of the Tusken pantaloons action.
Yeah.
Aside from the knee weapons, the little missile launchers out of his knees and everything else. So he hasn't gone full Boba from the outfit that we all knew and loved.
Yeah.
So now we're seeing the convergence of the two, everything from mentalities to ethics to trainings, right? Ninjas wear ninja outfits because they earn that black belt and everything else or whatever. So he's got that convergence of both. He's supposedly stronger, but right now he's still weak because episode 1, he gets a couple of really gnarly zaps in the back. And that's why he had to have the Gamorrean fatties drag him back to the Bacta tank, because something's still messed up internally.
Yeah.
Whether that's from Sarlacc juice or whatever. Don't ingest Sarlacc juice. That's bad.
I try to tell people that all the time.
Yeah.
I think one of the things I like about this is like I'm not able to predict what they're gonna do next.
We should actually have a contest of some sort. Like how many things do we call out that will happen, right? I believe we are going to see Darth Maul.
Okay, I love that.
I love it too, because Disney got pissed off at Ray Park for saying stupid things on social media, just like Gina, she's rumored to come back to Mando. I think they're going to forgive and forget whatever the hell racist things that Ray Park said, and they're going to bring him back. So I think that's going to happen, because again, everything is tied together. We're going to see something with Obi-Wan at some point, because that series is coming out next year. Or maybe it's Christmas, you know? So all of these things are going to be layered. Also, Han Solo is coming back. Han Solo is rumored to be in the Boba Fett show, because Harrison Ford has already been seen. So that means they're going to de-age his butt, just like they did to Luke on The Mandalorian. They're going to de-age him and show some of the crap that he and Boba went through. I personally think Han Solo is just going to be a raucous, hilarious smuggler jerk, poking fun at Boba and everything else. And that's going to irritate Boba on an epic scale. Because it's like, oh, you're not dead? Well, you know, I think there's going to be some really fun play with that.
I hope they don't. I still have mixed feelings about the Luke thing that they used. I'm a fan.
What didn't you like about the Luke scene in Mando? I thought it was well done.
Well, because it's obviously a de-aged person, right?
Well, so were Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen in X-Men, and no one complained about those. You know, when they did flashbacks with Jean Grey and all that crap, they de-aged the hell out of both of them.
Well,
you got a lot of movies to rewatch. I can tell you.
I don't think they did. I don't think they'd had a full-on scene with them, though, right?
Yeah, when Patrick Swayze, when Patrick Stewart got all blown up from Jean Grey in the reboot, he was massively de-aged. And then something else happened with Ian's character Magneto. They had him looking super young. But anyway.
Yeah. Well, okay, I kind of wish they would just recast people who kind of look like them.
Yeah.
To just do a part, so that we don't have to have this weird shooting and where they don't really interact with anything, because otherwise, you know, you're gonna have to give Harrison Ford a walker or something to like get through.
It'll be a hover walker, in all fairness.
Yeah.
No, I do agree. I think they could have introduced Sebastian Shaw, because as of right now, he looks like Mark Hamill's son. And he would have been a great person to put in there for that scene, because the age makes sense, the look of Sebastian.
Yeah. I feel like, I don't know if it's fan service or what it is that they want people to. I know if you played a movie that takes place at the same timeline, it would look weird. Oh, here's one Luke Skywalker and here's another one. So I get that kind of, but
hey, just think of what we're going to be talking about when Obi-Wan comes out and he starts fighting Darth Vader, because Hayden Christensen's coming back. And after 20 years of having reasonably decent to crappy roles in other films, we'll see how he takes on the mantle of Vader again too. But obviously they're not going to recast him because he's still around.
And they don't need to when you're in a Darth Vader out.
Wearing the grill.
Are they going to de-age Darth Vader? Are they going to?
I don't think they need to, because character-wise, age-wise, they don't have to.
No, like you know, less make it a little shinier. Like you know, your helmet doesn't have as much wear.
Yeah,
a little later on.
They'll just repaint. We'll see him at one of those car dealerships.
Is James Earl Jones coming back?
I don't know. I haven't heard anything about that. I mean, I would assume so, because also, no disrespect, he ain't dead yet, and I think that would be the ultimate homage no one else can do that voice. Unless it becomes like a Simon Says speak and spell.
Oh, I guess they probably could if he wouldn't. They probably could deep fake it now.
Well, true. They have enough words they could
Yeah.
recalibrate and create the whole language. But like I said, if they had him
That would
talking
be
like a
sad.
speak and spell, that would be awesome.
It's like Kermit the Frog was never the same once the voice changed.
There's so many.
Right. You're like, oh, that's a different voice. It's close, but that's not the same voice. It's not.
On the other side.
Yeah, lizard drugs. That was my big thing on here.
Creepy. Super creepy. The acid.
I like it. Yeah, I'm looking forward to episode 3. I'm looking forward. So there's 7. There's 7 episodes total.
Yes. Yeah.
I found that out. So
Which means only 5 more times.
5 more.
for us to
You
hang
only get
out.
5 more hours with me here, Brian.
Yeah. My
Um,
gosh.
Yeah.
So I thought let's incur a rating system. Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to call that out. I truly think that episode 1 was for me a 7 out of 10 because the parkour irritated me to the point where I can't watch it again. This episode I actually really enjoyed, and I didn't have any like problems with it, anything that really irked me other than the longest flashback ever. So I think it's a good solid 8 out of 10. I also really like the humor, the subtle humor, and kind of subtle things that they laid out for us for future episodes. So this left a lot of doors open for some exciting things to happen. So a solid 8.5. What do you think?
Okay. I was gonna say 8.5.
Yeah.
I like the last one more than you did. I would give that an 8. Probably this
That's
one
it.
8.5.
You like the first episode?
I got to give room. I'll have to re-grade them at the end though, because then it'll be like, okay, now that I see where this fits in, this could,
where
this
it's
could
all
be
tied.
higher.
Sure.
If that was not a wasted episode, which I don't think there is
That's
such
fine.
a thing normally.
It's Star Wars, man. They could have the Captain, was it the Marvel play?
Yeah.
Cross with like the dancing characters like they did with Hawkeye, and I would still be like, it's a Star Wars show. I'm totally down with this. Like I want to see a dancing Jabba. I'm fine with it. I would still be okay because it's Star Wars.
Yeah.
That's what every fan needs to remember. No matter what, we just saw a badass black Wookiee chrysanthemum give the rock expression to Boba as he walked off. I mean, Star Wars. It's perfect. No matter what.
Right. I agree.
Yeah.
All right. So I guess until next week.
Till next week.
All right. May the force be with you.
Hyperdrive. We'll see you soon.
Bye.